So today we are at Slovenska hiša, and we are trying their Turkish coffee.
I love that we both went.
It was so unscripted too. Sally's the expert here. Gonna tell me how to do this. How you do it.
This is how I do it, and I never drink coffee, but this is the place I go just because of the experience. Now I don't end up pouring the whole thing because I don't want the grounds at the bottom to
Smells
get in
so
it.
good though. I love this, by the way. Do you see this? Do you see this? Like, I told Sally it reminds me of Disneyland and Minnie Mouse. I feel like after you poured, I should wait and let the grounds settle a bit.
Oh,
I don't know if
maybe.
that's true. I just feel like maybe that's what I should do.
Would you like any milk?
I'll have a little.
I do like that here the milk they give you is warm.
That's nice.
They don't give you cold milk.
Cool off your coffee too much.
I can't remember the last time I had coffee.
Really?
Actually, the last time I had coffee was at your house. Like 3 weeks ago. Yep, that was the last time I had it. That was some good coffee.
It was delicious. Did you see how I made a latte with, or a cappuccino with milk?
Okay, you gotta show me how you did that.
It was
Because you said
so
you did
cool.
what'd you do it in the
French press.
French press. Have you ever used AeroPress? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, it's another form of coffee that my roommates last year did all the time, and it's like this tube, and you put like a small circular filter on the bottom of it.
Is it like a one-person serving?
Yes.
I saw this.
Yeah, they loved it.
good?
It's like really easy. I think it's good because it's like really easy to pack too,
Okay.
because it like takes up this much space, and the filters are super small.
Because I saw somebody make this and I thought, why wouldn't I just take like a single serve French press? Because I felt like that would be like, they're equally small, and I thought it would have less stuff with it.
I don't know. Maybe because this one's made out of plastic, it won't break. Should we try?
All right, we try this. Cheers.
Zdravia.
Zdravia.
Okay. Tastes like Turkish coffee.
Tastes like Turkish coffee. I've never had Turkish coffee though with milk in it. I always just have, if I have like the Turkish coffee you get at restaurants.
Yeah.
I always just have that black, and then you know how they have the little, what's it called? Turkish Delight on the side.
Oh.
Have like a bite of that, and then the dark like.
Oh.
I love the combination of the sweet and the bitter.
I like that you do a little bit of both because I'm normally just like, oh, just do the whole thing. I never even thought of like, ooh, being delicate. The first time I had Turkish coffee, I went to my friend Cesta's house.
This is a good conversation. The first time you had Turkish coffee.
Yes, this would have been 7 years ago. My first year in Slovenia. I'm at her house, and she's like, would you like some coffee? At this point, I'm used to American coffee.
Very diluted compared to this.
Very diluted. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying it's more diluted, right?
Yeah.
And it was what I was used to. So she makes the coffee. She like pours it and gives it to me. And it was just like so strong, right? And I was just like, ugh, this is so strong. And she was like, oh, that's because you haven't put any milk in it, right? So then like she gives me the milk. So I just like keep pouring it, and I keep pouring it, and then I'm like, it's still really strong. She's like, you can put sugar in it. So like I started putting sugar. Eventually she turned around and I dumped it in the sink. And then she asked if I wanted more. I was like, no, it's great, I'm good.
That is so funny. Have you told her that?
No, I never told her.
Oh, so maybe we shouldn't put this story online.
No, it's fine. She lives somewhere else. I don't know. If she sees it, sorry, Sada. It wasn't you, it was me. It wasn't the coffee, it was me. Definitely.
But that's the sort of thing also where it's like, you're here, like, just in the beginning, you can't be rude.
Oh, yeah,
You can't be like, this is terrible. I don't know why, but it's just terrible. Now you could be like, oh, I'm not used to this kind of coffee.
Yeah, but then now it's like, oh, this is great. Come here, I order it, it's fine.
Do you notice that now when you go back to America, it's like the coffee tastes so weak? I mean, I don't drink that much coffee back in America. Like, just pot, like coffee from a pot.
It definitely is weaker. Once again, I don't have a preference over one over the other. We were talking about Starbucks though, and how it's like it's basically sugar. A little bit of coffee with some sugar.
Have some coffee with your sugar.
It like makes me sick every time, but it's so good.
It is. now that I live here and there isn't any in Slovenia, which I really kind of hope that there doesn't come.
I know, it would be bad. It would be so
I feel like it
bad.
would ruin the culture of Slovenian coffee that I love so much. But whenever I go somewhere that does have it, I'm like straight for like the Frappuccino mocha that I would never order regularly.
Oh
Like,
no, I never eat that stuff, but...
when I lived in America, my go-to was like a soy latte.
Oh.
Sometimes a peppermint soy latte. But even when I got that, it was like with half the syrup. Because they would put so much syrup in it that it was like, was way too strong. Even when I was like a fat American with like all the cravings of American.
I always love the caramel that they drizzle on top.
Oh,
in fact,
on top of the whipped cream, like the caramel whipped cream combo is so delicious. So on the coffee, shall we rate it? This should be the beginning of a series where we go around Ljubljana, try different coffees.
Ooh, that would be fun.
And we rate them.
Just know, take my ratings lightly because I know absolutely nothing about coffee. Okay, but what are the ratings based off of?
All right. Let's say an experience.
Okay.
The experience of the coffee. The flavor of the coffee.
Okay.
I guess the price. Because some coffees are more expensive. Although I feel like €2-ish is about the price of a coffee in the center.
Okay.
Experience gets a...
I would say...
Experience rating gets...
I'd say maybe like an 8.5.
Solid number. I was going to say an 8. Yeah. I think that's a good... Because it's so nice the way it comes out on a little like deck, and it has the coffee pot.
It has the milk in
the
a little milk
in
bottle.
Like the presentation
Take me
is
back to the
great.
50s, can you?
And I love the little
wooden-
tin cup. Like, I love this.
I know. I would
very
gladly
fun.
have coffee in one of these every day.
Right?
Which I guess I could just
This is like back
purchase
to the
one.
prospector days, right?
Ooh.
Which is like California, like where I'm from, my parents, like where we grew up, is like an old gold rush town. So we have all this like very memorabilia, like it's, you see it a lot.
You know,
So
the only way I would know the term prospector, you want to know from what?
Toy Story?
Yes. Toy Story.
Oh my
That
God,
was like what,
amazing.
Toy Story 2?
Yeah, Toy Story 2. That
Yeah,
was like
that's-
what, 15 years ago that it came out or something?
Something like
so
that.
So long ago.
That's the only way I know what you were talking
That's
about.
hilarious.
Besides that, would have had no idea.
Yeah, not many gold rushes happening in Indiana.
Only if you want corn. The true gold.
And then flavor.
I would give it maybe like a 4.
I'd say the flavor of the coffee is nothing exceptional.
It's just like a little burnt tasting.
I'll taste just with my spoon.
Oh, that's smart. Okay.
I don't think it tastes very great. I mean, I don't know what kind of coffee they're using, but I don't immediately go, that's really good coffee. I have no idea which coffee they're using, if it's like Bar Cafe or...
Yeah.
Do they say on the outside?
I don't see it.
I don't know.
Maybe it's better that we don't see it, so.
But I would say it's, yeah.
So what's yours? I said about a 4.
That's pretty accurate. It's not like I taste it and dislike it. I just said there's nothing special about the flavor of the coffee.
Yes.
And this is where I think the true key is that putting milk and sugar in it makes it a lot better. Which I think if it's a good coffee,
You don't need
to put milk and sugar in it. It tastes really
I would
good by
agree.
itself.
I would agree. But I
All
would
right.
say, I think I'm more about experiences than flavors, strangely enough. So that's why it's like, even though the coffee
Enjoyable.
isn't my favorite, like because of the experience and what it looks like, I'm like, all right.
Price. I don't know what the price is.
I don't either. Here, $3.80. So less
For the
than
whole thing?
€2. Yeah,
That's impressive. That's a really good price.
that's a good price.
So would you come here again?
Oh, absolutely.
I would too.
Next time
Even
we
though
need
the
to come
coffee's
get
not
the
good.
meat and cheese plate.
Ooh, good one. All right, thank you for joining us on this coffee review with Mariah and Sally.
Coffee review for 2.
Coffee review for 2. There, sold. The name is done. Now where are we going to go next?